Hi, I'm Curious Vedan, and welcome to season 6 of my podcast. Today, my guest is Sachin Bangera, the Vice President of Celebrity and Public Relations at People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA India. Sachin leads public relations strategies and recruits celebrity supporters and executes eye catching celebrity campaigns to help advance animal rights in India. Hi, Sachin. Welcome to my show.
Hi, Vedant. Thank you for having me on this show.
Yes, thank you for coming. I heard that my dad used to work with you a few years, 10 years ago.
Yes, and I think we have known each other for almost 18 years now.
Yeah, he keeps telling me stories about PETA.
Yes, and we have some memorable stories together because we have traveled so much, for different projects, campaigns, and it was always lovely traveling with your dad and working with him so closely.
Yeah, he I love hearing his stories about PETA and everything he's done there and everything everybody there has done.
Thank you, Vedant.
So, Sachin, I'm curious to know, what does PETA India do?
So Vedant, PETA stands for People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, India. We are the India chapter, and we exist to encourage people to be kind to animals. And we do this by giving people the idea of living in a way that does not hurt animals. For example, eating plants instead of animals, or wearing clothes and shoes that are made from animal-friendly materials instead of animals. We also encourage to only support animal-free circuses and not to jail animals in zoos or other cages, and only to buy cosmetics and other products of daily use which have not been tested on animals. And you know what else? We also try to influence laws so that animals are better protected. And we encourage a lot of companies to do better for animals too. As a result, there are so many companies, so many agencies that bring about changes. And I would like to give you a very recent example. There's this company called Book My Show. It's an online ticketing platform. And, we had a campaign against them because they were promoting animal circuses. And as a result of the PETA campaign, they agreed to only support animal-free circuses and not those with chain and hit animals to force them to perform. So these are some, a few of the things that PETA does.
Wow, congratulations on that, on getting Book My Show not to support animals circuses.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I read an interview you had like a few years ago with someone, and and you said that vegan leather was becoming more and more popular. And in Singapore over here, in stores, you see lots of normal leather, but you also see lots of vegan leather. So how did vegan leather become so popular?
I think a lot of this comes from awareness. The kind of videos that are put out, the campaigns that are run by so many animal welfare and animal rights group, including PETA. So, the more people become aware of the atrocities and the suffering of animals used in the clothing industry, that's when, people want to do something better, and that's when these innovations take place. So earlier we just had leather and non-leather was just pure rexine material. But now there are so many companies, compassionate companies that are coming up with innovative ideas and inventions, and they're making leather out of plant-based materials. So there is leather made from apples. There's leather made from grape leaves. There's leather made from cork. So there's so many alternatives, and the more people get to know about this, I think it kind of becomes popular. And people, when they get to know about the kind of cruelty that is involved in skinning animals for your for your outfit, for your clothes, for your accessories. People don't want to be a part of that, and people want to do something cool. And there we have vegan leather and so many other vegan alternatives.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait when I go to a normal store here. I can't wait to see on the shelves no leather, like only vegan leather made out of apples.
That's amazing, Vedant. And just like you, we have so many, kids, so many children who come to us and who are just as much curious as you are to know about what happens to animals and how they can help and support. And we are so lucky to have support of young kids and students who want to choose compassionate alternatives to leather and other cruel materials.
Yeah, in Adidas, I heard they have vegan leather superstars.
Yes, they do. So they have a line of vegan shoes. And just like Adidas, there's so many other companies who were earlier making, leather shoes have now introduced a vegan line, and that is to be in sync with the current, uh, topic, which is climate change, sustainability. Everyone wants to do their bit to help save the environment and animals.
Yeah, and that's very nice. It's really good that they're doing that. And I I also never want to eat meat. I've never eaten meat, and I never want to eat meat or wear anything and where animals are involved.
That's amazing, Vedant.
Can you tell me more about your role at PETA India?
So Vedant, I have been with PETA India for more than 17 years. In fact, in like one more month, I'll be completing 18 years with PETA. My main role involves public relations. And this is just, let's say, this is just a fancy way of saying I help educate the public about animal rights. We do this in a lot of different ways. We put videos on social media to show that animals are scared and do not want to die for meat or for leather. We also work with celebrity supporters who help highlight different issues, such as the importance of not caging birds. We also do a lot of street theater style demonstrations. We once had people body painted all green to encourage others to eat green. That's because eating vegan is kinder to the planet because it requires less land and water. So, yes, I do work on a lot of these campaigns where we share information with the public or educate public about what happens to animals in different industries.
Yeah, that must be a very, very fun job, right?
Yes, it is. It is creative. It is. You are constantly thinking about the ways and ideas to to highlight an issue, and there are different set of people. There is a different demography. So there are students. There are young adults. There are adults, and you need to come up with a different idea, different approach to target these age groups, and that is what it makes my job fun and so much creative.
Yeah, and you're so lucky to meet all of those famous celebrities in India.
Oh, definitely, I am, and it's fun working with them.
Yeah, it sounds really fun to work with celebrities. What are the benefits of working with celebrities to promote animal rights?
Vedant, well, I bet you know a lot of celebrities just from watching TV shows and movies. And because we see them so often, a lot of people are interested in what celebrities are up to. Many people even copy celebrities. And so it is really helpful to animals when celebrities encourage their fans to be kind to animals. I'll give you some example of stars you may know. There's cricketer Virat Kohli, who wrote a letter asking that an elephant who is used for rides be rescued. That's because she was really hit. She was hit by some people. Her owners, the mahouts, they were beating her up, and the picture had gone viral, and that's when Virat Kohli came on board and agreed to help this elephant. And then again, we have his wife Anushka Sharma. She is a big Bollywood star, and she featured in an ad in a print campaign for PETA, asking everyone to consider eating plants instead of meat.
Yeah, that's very nice. I also read in that PowerPoint you sent me that you also got Amitabh Bachchan.
Yes. There was another elephant that we were trying to help, and we got a video of that elephant being, when he was held captive, he was being beaten up by his handlers. And we reached out to a lot of celebrities, including Mr. Bachchan. He got to see the video. He saw the video, and he spoke about it on social media. He spoke about it with news channels about the kind of suffering this elephant was enduring. And we've been lucky enough to work with some of very well-known celebrities in India.
Yeah, my dad told me that he's also met loads of celebrities while working at PETA.
Yes, in fact, I think Jayasema and we have worked on a lot of shoots, celebrity shoots, and we have traveled for press conferences across India, and we've had some great memories working on these campaigns together.
Yeah. What are some of the key strategies for effective public relations?
Well, Vedant, I find it fun to keep track of news stories about celebrities, and in fact, it is in general for any public relation campaign that one uh, should be abreast with all that is happening around them, like, the current affairs, what's happening in different sectors, be it whether Bollywood, cricket, or just, businesses and corporates. So since I like to read a lot about what celebrities are doing, what films they are doing, what they like to eat, what they like to wear, and this is how I learned that some of the celebrities, like say Anushka Sharma, who's vegetarian, and the food that she likes to eat, or that Shraddha Kapoor, she's another huge celebrity over here in India, who likes to buy clothes that are not made of leather. So she doesn't choose leather at all. So when we learn about what they think about animals, we can ask them to help PETA India. And all of our celebrity supporters are actually volunteers. So PETA India has figured out some other ways to get attention for animals, and people notice something. When people notice something unusual, and they like to know more about it. They want to know what is happening and why we are doing that. And so we have had volunteers sit in cages to highlight how chickens suffer for eggs, when we do a lot of this theater street style demonstrations. They notice something shocking, like the ad we did recently with actor Sonakshi Sinha, where she was shown holding a bag, a leather bag, which had blood coming off. She tried to tell the public, or give out this message to the public about what happens to animals who are, skinned for their leather in the fashion industry. We also like to engage people through games. For example, we have a game where people can put on a virtual reality headset. It takes them to an alternative reality where they themselves are chicken, and they are a chicken who is about to be killed for meat. And through this, they know to think twice before eating chicken again. They know what happens, what a chicken goes through. So they are able to put themselves in their shoes, and they can relate to what is happening with them. So that is like a way to get people engaged in animal rights. So yes, these are some of the ways that effective ways that we work in.
Yeah, that's very creative. Having a game where people can feel how a chicken is slaughtered and see how a chicken is slaughtered.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice that people can experience how a chicken feels.
Yes, definitely. And, as much as we would love to talk about, and, yeah, I would personally would love to talk about how animals suffer. But, for each, like I said before, for each demography, like, for kids, there's a different approach. For adults, there's a different approach. So that's why we come up with these, cool ways to get them engaged. So, of course, when I go and talk to a kid, a child, I just can't talk about what the gory stuff that is happening around, but I would want them to know about it in a fun way. And I think or an adult like a college student, what happens to I would want them to know about what happens to animals, but in an with an approach of that they are open to. So that's why we have these, games and theater style, street style demonstrations. So different ways to, approach uh, these people.
Yeah, and how do you do those street side demonstrations?
So it is, it is very much similar to how I would plan a shoot, a celebrity shoot. It's very similar. So a lot of planning goes. So we first, the team sits and we brainstorm on ideas, and we think like, what are the campaigns that we are working on, where the animals really, need that kind of attention. And then we come up with some cool ideas, some eye-catching visuals, and then we reach out to our volunteers. So if we are doing in different parts of India, so whichever city we are aiming for, we reach out to the volunteers. We do we share the ideas with them. We get permissions in place, and we go and we do the demonstrations, the street theater style demonstrations. We invite press because, of course, the first thing is to spread awareness. So we would want people to notice that, and ask us about the campaign, ask us about what is happening, how they can help animals. But we also invite press, media to these events. They come, they click, because these are usually eye-catching visuals. They come and click pictures, they take they do interviews, and that is in the press, in the news. And that's how it reaches not just people of that particular city or that area, locality, but it reaches out, far and wide. So that's how we plan these demonstrations.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun job to do. That sounds really fun to do a demonstration on the street. And yeah, I've seen lots of street side shows, but I've never seen anybody do a demonstration of something like this.
In fact, I don't know if your dad told you about this. My first demonstration, when I started working at PETA India, the first time I was part of this street theater style demonstration was with your father. So, he was, we were planning to do a demonstration in Delhi, a city in India, and the capital city. And your father was traveling there, and he asked me to be a part of that campaign. And it was, we were doing this demonstration outside of this international leather fair that was going, like exhibition and leather fair. And it was Jayasima, me, and another colleague. We three went there. We flew down to Delhi, and we did this kind of silent protest outside the leather fair, wherein I was dressed as a Grim Reaper, my colleague was dressed as a cow, and Jaya was the spokesperson. And we exactly showed that, why leather is cruel, and how animals die for the sake of clothing. So it was my first time, and it was a great experience because I was traveling with my friends, and everyone was on the same page, and we just wanted to go out there and do something really amazing. And we got great press. A lot of media turned up. They came, they clicked pictures. They asked us a lot of questions about what happens to animals in the leather industry. So yeah, overall it was a great success.
Yeah, that really sounds like a success. Did anybody did anybody when they saw it, like somebody was walking to the fair and they saw the demonstration, did they just turn back and go home?
Oh, yes. In fact, a few of them who had no idea, sometimes what happens is people don't know about what happens with animals. And that's where, PETA comes into the picture. And that is exactly what had happened that day. When we were doing this demonstration, some of the, visitors who were on their way to the leather fair with their families. They saw what was happening. They came, they spoke to Jaya, they spoke to us about why we were doing this and what we were doing. And, they were shocked and they went back. Some of them did say that to us that, sorry, we did not know about this. And thank you so much for, sharing this information with us. We handed out leaflets with all the information. And yeah, and I'm sure they must have gone back and they must have spoken to their family and friends about what they had witnessed that day.
Does raising awareness automatically change people's attitude?
Definitely it does. Raising awareness does change people's attitudes. And the only way anyone will change their mind is with information. Like I, said earlier in my interview that a lot of people are not aware of what is happening around them or what is happening to animals in particular. And so many people simply don't know that, animals suffer for meat or leather or, in zoos and circuses. They may not listen right away, but if you help them consider or explain it to them in a way that they would understand. For example, if they wouldn't want to live life in a cage, themselves live in a cage, they'll start realizing that even animals don't want to be in a cage or want to live like that their entire life. So this is how you explain it to them, and that's the key. Giving information or creating awareness is the key to changing people's attitudes.
Yeah, sometimes I try to explain to my friends why I'm vegetarian, but some of their answers are this. But if you eat plants, then you're also killing animals because don't animals eat plants? So sometimes it is a little hard to explain.
Yeah, that's the, in fact, Vedant, when, and I can totally relate to that because I have been asked that same question so many times, and, and it just goes on. So it's not like, there will come a point where people will stop asking these questions. And I hope they do stop asking such questions. But, that's just a way to put an argument. But there's so much information out there about plants and animals, and the simplest one is the nervous system. Animals have a central nervous system, whereas plants don't. And you can see an animal bleed, when sorry for being so graphic, but when you slaughter an animal or cut an animal, you can see them, you can hear them scream, you can see them bleed. So when you can see that for yourself, and when you eat plants, there is nothing of this sorts happening to plants. So that's the simplest way to put it out there. And science has proved that plants don't feel pain. There's so much information out there on the internet. So please feel free to share it with your friends, and you can always direct them to the PETA website, petaindia.com. And there is so much information about these kind of arguments that people put forth, that plants have plants have feelings, and plants feel pain, but and being a vegetarian, like if you're eating plants, then you're killing you're killing trees and killing plants. So we have counter arguments for that, and we have so much information on our website, so you can always check out petaindia.com.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to tell. Yeah, that's what I'm going to tell them actually. I'm going to tell them, yeah, but plants don't have feelings.
Yeah, they don't have a central nervous system, like you can see, you can hear animals scream, and why do you want to choose that, like when you can be a kind person, so what is there in front of your eyes, you can see, you can hear, and why do you want to do that? They are sentient beings, so
Yeah.
why hurt them?
And also, what I tell them sometimes is, but plants can regrow if you chop them, but animals can't regrow.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. You take a fruit out of a tree, and another fruit will regrow. But when you kill an animal, when you slaughter an animal, that animal's life is gone forever,
Yeah.
They just die. And why do you want to be a part of that?
Yeah. I would never. Like, once I accidentally ate a sushi which had salmon inside it, and after that I started crying.
Oh, yeah, because that happened accidentally, and I'm sure you had no you had no clue about what was there inside. So yes, that's great. You don't want to be a part of any such cruelty, and we just hope that your listeners, students, kids, adults, whoever is listening to this podcast gets inspired by you, Vedant, by you and your father Jayasema, and he's done such amazing work for animals. His body of work in the animal rights, animal welfare field is so amazing. The journey is so wonderful that he has inspired me, and I know a lot of people around me have been inspired by Jayasema, and I see the same thing in you, like your podcast. You're asking questions about how people can help animals. That is amazing. That is start of your journey to some amazing work. And I hope a lot of people get inspired.
Yeah, thank you. How do you think the media can help or hinder the cause of animal rights?
I would say media definitely plays a major role, on the narrative, like what is happening to animals. So it is important that, a true picture is put out there, and they can help animals and help this cause by putting out information. And I think we are grateful to so many media outlets, so many news channels out there who work who come to our demonstrations, or who come and cover our celebrity shoots, and they talk about the campaigns, and they put out information on their website or on their news channels. The story reaches out to so many people, millions of people out there, and that's the quickest and fastest mode of sharing information, whether it is on a TV channel or on the internet, on social media pages. Information reaches to people in a few seconds. So yes, when they put out true stories, true information out there, they'll definitely be helping this cause. So yes, media definitely plays an important role in helping build a cause and reaching out to people and helping change hearts and minds.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I saw this launch of an animal organization in India called the India Animal Fund, and it was on NDTV, and it was it was so big, and I'm sure all the millions of Indians and other people who are watching that now would be like, yeah, I think I should reduce on my meat or stop eating meat.
Yeah, definitely. And, that was a lovely show. So I'm saying that, after that show was aired, when so many groups came together and spoke about different issues affecting animals, we've got great response from the public, especially with the part where Peter spoke about not eating animals, going vegan for animals. We've been getting a lot of calls, emails from the public, inquiring about how they can help animals, how can they make that switch, from being a meat eater to going vegan. So we've the number of calls that we have received, or even requests for our free vegan starter kit. At PETA, we have this free vegan starter kit, which helps a person transition into a vegan lifestyle. So, we've been getting a lot of requests for those. So definitely it has reached out to so many people, and we hope that it does reach out to more and more people, and we get a lot of such queries from the public about helping animals.
Yeah, yeah, I really hope you do. I heard that you started off at PETA as a student operating phone lines. It seems like a phenomenal journey to becoming the vice president of celebrity and public relations. Can you share more about this?
Yes, Vedant, you actually took me back to my first day at work. I was 19 years old back then. I was a student, when I started working with PETA India. I was in college, and a lot of people have a similar story. In fact, the person who runs PETA India now started as an intern. She was a student too. We love to have young people volunteer for us, intern with us, and learn about animal rights. Some of those people stay with us to help animals as they grow in their careers, and others move on to other jobs, but their kindness never goes away. And similarly, like, if I have to talk about my journey at PETA India, yes, I started off as a receptionist, as an assistant. I would handle phone calls, calls from people who would want to know more about PETA, or who wanted to donate to PETA, or who wanted to know how to go vegan or vegetarian. So that's where I started my journey. And then, I was lucky enough to work on so many other campaigns, and eventually, because of my love for Bollywood and for celebrities, to know what is happening in the celebrity world, in the showbiz world, I think my supervisors noticed that, and they thought that I'll be good at it, and that's how I have now come to where I am. Like, I'm handling the celebrity projects and public relations at PETA India.
Wow, congratulations. That's such an inspiring journey.
Thank you so much, Vedant.
Yeah. My dad said he remembers when you came into the office, and now he's very proud of you.
Yes, and we both were very young. And of course, Jayasima had, when I joined PETA, he was already an animal rights activist, and he had worked on so many, animal welfare projects. So for me, it was like a new domain, and he was kind enough to, explain things to me, explain what happens and how things need to be handled. And I think, like I said, it was a memorable journey, and we have so many memories together, Jasima and I. Whenever we have traveled, whenever we have worked on projects, we had something like a takeaway from there, and we always talk about those days, and how amazing it was. And I think even I'm proud of what Jayasima has achieved today, like where he is today. And, I hear about him, like whenever I hear someone say his name and, the work that he is doing, it makes me so happy to know that, this is a friend that I worked with and I've known him so well. And it's so good to see the kind of amazing work that he's doing today.
Yeah, yeah, he does lots of work. What did you want to be as a child?
Uh, Vedant, I like, most kids, I always wanted to become a doctor to help, and one of the reasons that I wanted to be a doctor was to help others. But you know what? I ended up doing just that, helping others by working with PETA India. I'm helping animals, I'm helping people know about so many issues. So yes, I'm exactly doing that without a doctor title. Eh, Yeah, that's really nice. I have no idea what I want to be when I grow up. And I think that's how it should be. Like, it's okay because we, as when we are kids, I think instead of thinking of what we want to become, like, what profession we want to go in, I think we should just go with the flow. And that's what I realized early in my, in my childhood that, the more I try to chase, like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a doctor, I might miss out on, the things that I need to do as a child. And when I look at you, you're running this podcast and you are, you're talking to so many professionals, and I've heard your interviews, and I think you're on your journey to achieving something great. So I think you're there. It's just that you don't realize, but you're on your own journey. And I think just go with the flow. And before you realize, you'll know that you're already there, and you don't have to think about who I need to become or what I need to do. But before time, you'll know that you're almost there and you've achieved that. Yeah, yeah. But all I know is I want to help animals. That's a lovely thing to say and a lovely feeling. And you will be so happy, when, uh, and I'm saying this not just for animals, when you just help someone, you help someone, you speak up, it's such a good feeling. And yeah, we just want everyone to be, their kind selves, like be kind. Yeah. That's the easiest thing that one can do. Yeah, it is. It is the easiest thing to do. Definitely. What are your hobbies? So yes, most of the times I'm working, but when I'm not working, I love spending time with animals. I don't have a companion animal at home, but I'm involved in a lot of rescues or feeding community animals, dogs, cats. And then we have some cats in our office, like some that we are taking care of. So whenever I go to work, I take a break, I play with them, um, I feed them, and besides that, I also love gardening. So I love planting seeds, and then gifting saplings or gifting plants to my friends and family. It's amazing how many animals will live in a garden, someday, from worms to bees to birds and squirrels, so many more. So yeah, so besides helping animals, I also love gardening. That's one of my favorite hobbies. Yeah, gardening is fun, and I love, yes, and I love spending time with animals. That's amazing. That's great. Thank you so much for coming on my show. Thank you, Vedant. It was great talking to you. And, I'm glad that we were able to speak finally, and we were able to see each other, because I've heard so much about you. from my friends who have met you and who have spoken to you, there's Nikunj, there's Pooja. I believe you'll have had, you'll have traveled together, and they have such lovely things to say about you. And I was really waiting to, meet you. And I'm glad that we did. Thank you so much once again. And I wish you the best with your show and everything that you do.
Yeah, and thank you. And once again, congratulations on becoming the Vice President of Celebrity and Public Relations.
Thank you, Vedant. Thank you so much.
Yes, and congratulations to you and PETA for all of the good work that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It means so much to us, Vedant. Thank you. You have a great day.
You too. Dear listeners, follow my Facebook page, Curious Vedant, to get updates on my upcoming episodes. To listen at leisure on your phone or get notified about future episodes, subscribe by searching for Curious Vedant wherever you get your podcasts, such as Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can also listen to my show on curiousvedant.com. Thank you for listening to Curious Vedant. And don't forget to rate and leave comments.